Alright, Adam here again with my second episode, or whatever we want to call it, of my 150-gallon reef tank. Again, I'll be putting this out weekly, shorter, longer, depending on the week, depending on what's been going on. So, I'm going to try to do this a different way today by sitting here and zooming, seeing if I can get a little better picture quality just by staying a bit more stationary. And then we'll do a little walkabout. So as you can tell, it looks about the same. Obviously, it's only been a week. The one big change is the algae's doing a lot better in some ways and a lot worse in others. So, alright, never mind. Well, we're just going to walk. We're walking. Now, I also have to show you my new fish in quarantine. We'll end the video with that today. Alright, so everyone's still looking good. The one that's shown the most improvement, actually, has been Mr. Monty. It's a little hard to tell with the lighting, but he is colored back up nicely. As you can tell, still having quite a good bit of algae in the tank. Some nice hair algae, which I am in the process. I'm trying to clean up. My water changes tomorrow, so I'm going to try to suck out most of this algae and see how it goes. The torches are all doing great. The hammer has actually... see if we can get a good shot. Putting off new hammers. Or new heads, whatever. You know. Zoas are still doing... not fantastic. I think it's mostly due to the algae. So the Pandora Zoa is open a bit more than he was last time, but everyone else is looking a little bit rough. My little Zinnia island over here is probably my favorite part of the tank. The Zinnia with the red star pops. I think it's just a simple, clean, pretty look. I know the color doesn't pick up great, but so that's really not much going on with the tank itself. Haven't added anybody to the actual tank. But I have picked up some new fish, which I will walk back downstairs and show you my little quarantine setup and show you the fish. Alright, here's my quarantine setup. It is just in the corner of the basement down here. It is a 40-gallon breeder tank, which is probably a bit overkill, as you'll soon see. I only have 4 fish in there, but why not? I have space for it, and it is not any more expensive really to run a slightly larger quarantine tank than it is to run a smaller one. It gives me a little more leeway as far as water changes and monitoring the water, especially with the very low nutrient, low amount of nutrients, since I just have 4 small fish. So here is who I have. Let's see if we can get a good little shot of him. I have a mocha clownfish. This guy's probably my favorite. This is a juvenile McCosker's flasher wrasse. And of course the Firefish. And then finally, we'll see if we can figure out where he's hiding. I think he's under here. One second. Oh, there he is. Let's slide around the side, see if we can get a good shot. Come on out, bud. There you are. Got a diamond goby. Very small. He is actually they've been in since Tuesday of this week, and he has finally started coming out the last day or so. Today's Saturday. I gave him, as you can see, I gave him a bucket of sand, but I think the lip is too large on it, so he is not showing any particular interest. So that is on my list of things to do, is to get him a different bucket of sand so he's a little happier. But he has been eating, so I'm not too terribly concerned. As to the rest of my setup, just briefly go over it. I have an ammonia checker. I have just a little power head giving me some surface disturbance. This glass needs to be cleaned. It's on my list. I have some sponge filter and a bag of rocks that were in my sump of my tank upstairs for about a month to make sure I had adequate biological filtration. Just a 1-inch PVC pipe, a Eheim 200 watt heater, which gets the job done, a little battery operated temperature probe, and it looks like I lost a little clip down there. That's okay. I think that's it for this tank. Oh, let's stand up real quick. Just a very cheap and easy LED strip that I got for $10, and it's been working like a charm. It just, obviously it doesn't have any features. It just has a little on and off button, but it definitely gets the job done. As long as I'm down here, I'll go to my water change station. So over here is where I do the water mixing. I have 55-gallon. It's two 55-gallon barrels, and I have a float valve, and then in the salt water, so that one's is fresh water only, and then I move it over to here to mix it. And I just added some salt a few minutes ago. I need to still stir it in, and I have just a small pump to stir it, a heater that I turn on right before I add it, and then a pump, because this is in the basement. And the 150-gallon tank is all the way up the stairs and back and around, all the way around the corner. It's basically right above this room. So the first time I changed the water, I actually just carried the water in a 3-gallon bucket up and down the stairs, which I decided immediately after finishing that ordeal I was not going to do it like that again. So what I have been doing is I have that pump, and then I have a 100-foot long garden hose. So I just hook it up to the pump, run the garden hose up the stairs, and that works perfect for pumping the fresh water, or the new salt water, up the stairs. And then I just have a little Python water changing hose to clean the sand and to drain water out of the tank that I just hook up to the sink upstairs. So I think that is about it for today. I just wanted to give you a brief update of the new fish. I'm very excited about them. I am doing the more simple method. Oops. Man down. So I am going to do a lot of people will do the prophylactic. They'll treat with copper. They'll do all the treatments, even if there are no signs of illness. I know that plenty of people do it that way. I am not going to do it that way. I'm going to just keep them in quarantine a bit longer and double check. I think that I'd rather not treat them unless absolutely necessary. I can't imagine that a copper treatment is all that great for them, and that's just one more thing to screw up. So I am going to just do it the old-fashioned way of just an observation tank. I may do some anti-parasitic food medication in the food. That is a possibility. I have not totally made up my mind yet. But if I do that, it's a lot less effort and a lot less of a challenge than doing a copper treatment. Of course, if they develop any issues, I do have copper test kits. So I will do that as necessary. Thanks for watching.